Now we know for a fact that human beings have descended from monkeys. Interestingly, chimpanzees share approximately 95% of the human DNA. But is this enough to have a monkey as a pet in our houses? Oh, just imagine you are walking on the street and you have a monkey walking next to you, probably wearing denim and a t-shirt. Well, I'm definitely not sure of this. Of course, they are adorable creatures, but to keep them as pets, I will surely give it a second thought. But let me tell you, this is not the case with the narrator's family that we are going to read about in this story, The Adventures of Toto. But before we do that, let me throw some light on its author, Ruskin Bond's life and his works. So, an Indian author of British descent, Ruskin Bond was born on 19th May 1934. He is considered to be an icon among Indian writers, children's authors, and a top novelist. Well, he wrote his first novel, The Room on the Roof, at the age of 17. And since then, he has written several novels and, hold on, over 500 short stories as well as various essays and poems. And it is his area of work that established him as one of the best loved and most admired storytellers of contemporary India. And as recognition, in the year 1992, he received the Sahitya Akademi Award for his short stories collection. Our Trees Still Grow in Dehra. Also in the year 1999, he was honored with the Padma Shri Award for his contributions to children's literature. Now the story, The Adventures of Toto, is about a baby monkey which the author's grandfather brings home as a pet. But this little creature is not as well behaved as they thought it to be. Will they be able to keep Toto at home forever? Let's begin our journey in examining the curious case of a pet monkey. Grandfather bought Toto from a Tonga driver for the sum of 5 rupees. The Tonga driver used to keep the little red monkey tied to a feeding trough, and the monkey looked so out of place there that grandfather decided he would add the little fellow to his private zoo. Toto was a pretty monkey. His bright eyes sparkled with mischief beneath deep-set eyebrows, and his teeth, which were a pearly white. Grandmother always fussed when grandfather brought home some new bird or animal. So it was decided that Toto's presence should be kept a secret from her until she was in a particularly good mood. Grandfather and I put him away in a little closet opening into my bedroom wall, where he was tied securely, or so we thought, to a peg fastened into the wall. A few hours later, when grandfather and I came back to release Toto, we found that the walls, which had been covered with some ornamental paper chosen by grandfather, now stood out as naked brick and plaster. The peg in the wall had been wrenched from its socket, and my school blazer, which had been hanging there, was in shreds. So one day the author's grandfather bought a baby red monkey home. He bought it from a Tonga driver for 5 rupees. That's right, 5 rupees only. You see, we are talking about the time when things were not as expensive, and spending 5 rupees on a monkey was quite an extravaganza back then. You see, Toto had sparkling, mischievous eyes. Yes, Toto is what they named him, and his teeth shone in a pearly white. His glaring smile frightened the very dear life out of the elderly Anglo-Indian ladies. And in contrary to his bright eyes and smile, his hands were wrinkled and dried up as if they were exposed to the sun for a long period of time. Now, contrary to his grandfather, the author's grandmother was not very fond of animals. She was always annoyed whenever his grandfather brought home some new bird or animal. So obviously, a monkey would not be invited. So it was decided that Toto's presence should be kept a secret until she was in an exceptionally good mood. So the author and his grandfather put him away in a little closet which opened into the author's bedroom. There, Toto was tied securely to a peg affixed into the wall. Well, things became rather interesting from there. Now, the walls of the author's bedroom were covered with some ornamental paper, and it so happened that when the author and his grandfather returned to release Toto, they found that the wallpaper was ripped off, unmasking the ugly brick wall behind him. Tutor mate, For more amazing video lectures, download the free app on the Apple App Store or Google Play Store.